Hi, in this video we're going to divide a polynomial by a monomial. You can find this lesson on pages 161 to 165. Before we begin, we need to remember what the quotient law tells us, that when we are dividing, we can divide coefficients and subtract exponents. So in the example here, if we have 10x to the power of a divided by 2x to the power of b. For our coefficients, we would divide. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then we would subtract our exponents, a minus b. When we have a polynomial, such as a binomial here, divided by a monomial, step one is we can rewrite for each term division. Now you don't have to do this, but it's recommended especially at the start. We are dividing 24x to the power of 5 by 4x, plus we're also dividing 16x cubed divided by 4x. Step 2, we divide our coefficients. So we do 24 divided by 4 for our first term, which is 6, and 16 divided by 4 for our second term, which is 4. Our next step is to subtract exponents. For our first term, we have x to the power of 5 divided by x to the power 1. So we do 5 minus 1 is x to the power of 4. And for our second term, we have x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Lastly, we write in correct format. This is usually a step that we don't actually have to do, because if we've done the steps above, then we can make sure that we've got everything in descending order, which it should work out most of the time. But if you have a polynomial that is jumbled, meaning that you have maybe not descending order, you may have to rearrange your final answer. So simplified, we have 6x to the power of 4 plus 4x squared. Let's do another one. This time you are dividing by -4, so there's no variable there, but we're still going to follow the same steps. So we are going to be dividing each term by -4, so I'm going to rewrite. And again, it's not a step that you have to do, but it's definitely recommended at the start because it can keep your eye focused on all the signs, and that's really important. On our second step, we're going to divide coefficients, and step 3, we're going to use quotient law for exponents. Here we don't have step 3 because our denominator doesn't have any exponents. So we're going to go ahead and simplify now. 4 divided by -4 is a -1. N squared. On our second term, we have 12n divided by -4. 12 divided by -4 is a -3n. And our last term, we have -20 divided by -4, which results in a +5. If we write our answer in correct format, we can get rid of the one coefficient. -n squared minus 3n plus 5 is our simplified polynomial from the division. If you'd like to go ahead to the student examples on page 162, you can try to work them out and pause the video. If you get stuck, you can watch and get some help. Okay, first up, we're going to rewrite 8x cubed divided by -4x minus 12x squared divided by negative 4x minus 4x divided by negative 4x. Now I'm going to divide the coefficients and subtract the exponents. 8 divided by negative 4 is a negative 2. x3 minus 1 is x squared. For the second term, negative 12 divided by negative 4 is a positive 3. x2 minus 1 is just x. And then for the last term, be careful, negative 4 divided by negative 4 is a positive 1. X to the power of 1 minus 1 equals x to the power of 0, which equals 1. 1 times 1 is just 1, so the x's cancel each other here. So we're left with negative 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. For the second example, you can give this one a try. This time you have x and y as your variables. Okay, let's take a look. 25x to the power of 4y cubed divided by 5x squared y. So cube there. Minus 15x cubed y to the power of 4 divided by 5x squared y. Plus 20x squared y cubed divided by 5x squared y. Okay, we're going to start to divide and subtract. 25 divided by 5 is 5. x4 minus 2 is x squared. y3 minus 1 is y squared. For our second term, negative 15 divided by 5 is a negative 3. x3 minus 2 is just x. y4 minus 1 is y cubed. And for our last term, 20 divided by 5 is 4. That's a positive 4. x2 minus 2 is x to the power of 0. They cancel. y3 minus 1 is y squared. We have a simplified polynomial here, 5x squared y squared minus 3xy cubed plus 4y squared. For this last one, you can give it a try. You have everything divided by 6xy. So give that a try and see what happens when you divide that second term by y. Okay, so we're going to follow the steps here. We're going to write the terms out separately. We're going to divide the first term by xy, and the second term, negative 4x divided by 6xy. For our first term, we'll divide our coefficients. 12 divided by 6 is 2. x2 minus 1 is just x to the power of 1. y1 minus 1 is y to the power of 0, which is just equal to 1, so that cancels. For our next term, we have negative 4 divided by 6. So what we get there is a decimal. So what we can do is we can reduce that fraction by dividing them both by 2. Oops. So this ends up being a negative 2 over 3. So we're going to write that, negative 2 over 3, and then we'll see about our exponents now. We have x to the power of 1 minus 1, which is x to the power of 0. Those cancel. And on our numerator, we don't have a y. There's no y here, but we do have a y in our denominator. When this happens, all we can do is keep the y down in the denominator because there's nothing to divide it by. So we end up with 3y down in the denominator. That's looking a little bit of a long fraction bar, so I'll just fix that up. So our simplified polynomial is 2x minus 2 over 3y. So now you'll be ready to try the exercises on page 163. up to page 165 in your workbook.